So let's find a comfortable seat, Sukhasana, on your mat or your practice space. Crossing at the shins, grounding down through the sit bones. And take your right hand over your heart center, your left hand just underneath the navel. So you're kind of cupping the four-finger space beneath the belly button. And holding here, think of these as plugging in to your body so that the elbows can soften, the shoulders can melt. You can lengthen through the back of the head, crown of the head reaching tall. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can close down the eyes. And in removing the sense of your sight, maybe you can tune in a little bit more deeply to the sensation of your body. You might feel the subtle rise and fall of your body beneath your hands. You might feel the contact points of your seat, your thighs, your ankles, your shins to the ground, to the mat beneath you. Bring your awareness to your sits bones, your ischial tuberosity, that hip bone that's making contact with the ground, and see if the weight in your hip bones is even. And if not, are you able to shift, sway, transfer the weight so that it becomes a little bit more equal in your hips? Maybe that involves your shoulders gently moving backwards in space until they're over your hips. And once they are, you might slide your chin backwards as well so that your ears can float over your shoulders. Keep your breath moving underneath your hands. Once you find that effortless seat, where your body feels present, your attention feels present, and you begin to let go of any thoughts that are not present. Bring your attention to your body underneath your left hand. And as you breathe in, focus on this hand rising. Focus on your abdomen expanding. And adding to this, on your next inhale, focus on your left hand rising, body expanding, and then the top hand also rising, body expanding. Keeping the shoulders soft. And let's continue this breath. Inhaling 4, bottom hand rising 3, top hand rising 2, expansive 1. And then exhaling as we came out, so top hand deflating 4, 3, bottom hand deflating 2, 1. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Take your left hand on top of your right hand over your heart center. So much of this class is simply allowing whatever comes up for you in this class to simply hold the space and allow. Whatever the process is, whatever the emotions are, they are welcome here. Let's set our dedication for today's practice. So if you have an intention or a dedication, someone or something that you would like to dedicate today's practice to, I invite you to say in your mind completely and with intention, or to say out loud their name or that thing. William. Softly opening the eyes if you've closed them, and slide your hands down to your knees. We'll go through a little bit of a breath side opening flow for today's class at the beginning. So you can watch me follow along, but if you find that it's a little fast paced, do not worry, you can catch up at any time. So on your next inhale, the left hand will come down, the right hand will come up, and you'll side bend, but see if you can find both sit bones equally into the ground. Hold and breathe. Maybe you transfer a little more weight into the right sit bone as you reach a little bit further towards the side. Option to gaze up underneath the top arm, or if you're having neck tightness this week, you can look downwards towards your mat. On your next exhale, the top arm floats down to the left knee. As you inhale, the left arm comes up overhead. We're taking a side bend to the other side. And then check in once more with your hip bones, your sit bones. Option again to look underneath the top arm or gaze down towards the ground, whatever's most comfortable for you. Breathing deep. Keep the front of the body expanding with your breath. On your next exhale, the top arm will come behind the hip and the right arm will come up over. So you're going to shine your collarbones forward, and then the top arm is going to come back. So leaning back into the back arm, slight bend in the elbow, maybe you gaze up. And then let's take this to the other side as you exhale, right hand by the hip. Inhale, left arm up overhead, slight bend in the elbow as you side bend to your right. Gazing up underneath the top arm or gazing down to the mat, check in with your hips and notice where your weight is. Notice where the stretch is. We've opened up the front of the body with our breath. Let's open up the side of the body, the ribs. Beautiful. On your next exhale, the top arm comes down to the right knee. Inhale, right arm comes up overhead, another side bend. Take this as far as you are comfortable. Notice if your shoulders are wanting to creep up towards your ears. See if you can find a stretch that feels effortless, that feels wholesome for your body. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, top arm comes behind the seat, slight bend in the elbow, and then front arm, left arm comes up and behind, but shoulders facing forward, heart facing forward. And then other side, exhale, hand down to the side of the hip. Inhale, right arm up overhead. We'll take this breath for movement. Exhale, right hand down to left knee. Inhale, left arm up overhead, twist and bend. Exhale, left hand behind hip. Inhale, navel forward, heart forward as the right arm comes up and back. Exhale, right hand to the outside of right hip, taking it to the other side. Inhale, left arm up overhead, micro bend in the right elbow. Exhale, round the arm forward and down to the knee. Inhale, right arm up overhead. Exhale, take up space with the arm as you wing it outwards behind the hip, ground into the earth, and then bend through the elbow as the left arm comes up over the shoulder, heart forward. Maybe you find a little bit of a stretch in your right bicep. Once more each side. Exhale, left hand outside hip. Inhale, right arm over. Exhale, right arm down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand behind hip. Inhale, right arm up. Shoulder points forward. Exhale, last side, last time. Right hand to hip. Inhale, left arm up. See if you can make this last time very flowy, moving effortlessly, seamlessly through the movements. Left arm down to right knee. Right arm up overhead. Right hand behind hip. Left arm up over shoulder, heart forward, chin forward. And then pressing yourself up to sit. This time left hand over heart, right hand over abdomen, underneath the navel. Feel into your breath. And again, once more, let these hands plug into the body so the elbows can be heavy. The shoulders can soften away from the ears and the neck. Taking your hands into fists, bring them up towards your chest. And as you inhale, bring your shoulders up towards your ears, towards your head. Squeeze them up tightly. As you exhale, drop them. Inhale, squeezing them up so tight. And then exhale, drop them. 2 more, inhale, squeezing the shoulders up. Exhale, and you can absolutely make noise on this last one if you haven't already. Inhale, squeezing up. Exhale, release the fists, hands palm up on the knees. And you can roll the shoulders forward and back, alternating sides. Maybe you switch directions, rolling them forward and down. All right, soften, come back to center. So this first exercise for our expression portion for today, you can remain seated on the ground, but if it is comfortable for you, or more comfortable for you to find a chair to do these next few exercises, you absolutely can. And I'll cue us back when we need to get onto the ground once more. So yogi's choice. So I'd like you to imagine a weed, a plant in front of you. And as you reach forward and hold onto this weed, I want you to infuse this weed with any idea or feeling or sensation of regret or I should have. And once you have something in mind, and it's okay if nothing comes up specifically, you can have the intention of this, the intention of the feeling, and you'll still evoke that. Once you feel that your hand is firmly around this weed, pulling it up overhead, you can release it behind you completely. So as you inhale, you'll imagine grabbing hold of a weed in front of you. And this weed represents that thought. As you exhale, throw the weed, the thought, over your head behind you, releasing it completely. And with the other hand, as you inhale, grab hold of another weed in front of you, connecting to the thought, what if I would have done? And as you exhale, throw it up over your head, release it and let it go behind you. And then bring your hand down to your side and switch to the other hand. So keep moving back and forth, inhaling as you grab the weed in front of you and exhaling as you throw it behind you. Whatever thoughts come to mind, whatever what ifs, whatever should haves, whatever if onlys, anything that is coming up for you, release it over your head and let it go. You might want to think back to your dedication for today's class. You may want to think to what's happening in your life currently. Whatever that might feel like for you today, just acknowledge it and then throw it away above your head. Let it go. And if it's difficult for you to imagine something that is personal for you, if only I would have, then you can focus this practice on someone else. If only you would have. You should have. What if you did this? Keep doing this exercise, breathing in, feeling this weed solidify in front of you, and then pulling it up by the roots as you throw it behind you. Let it go. Inhaling as you reach forward, and take your time, but you can also just infuse these weeds with this intention, removing all regrets, removing all should-haves. And again, for some of you, these images, these thoughts, these intentions will be clear. But if you are feeling not sure, if you may not have the words for what they feel like, then just bring the intention. You don't have to have specific thoughts. Just bring the attention to wanting to heal any of these regrets. Any things that might have taken root, any things that are still holding on. And as you do this exercise, the subconscious thoughts and feelings around this will likely begin to uproot. Acknowledge that, acknowledge them and release them and let them go behind you. Releasing the doubts, allowing you to find more peace in the present. We'll be here for 4 more breaths, 5 more breaths. So really take your time. Two more. If you feel like you would like to continue on with this exercise, you absolutely can. 1 more. Last one. Taking your thumbs to the little kind of flap in front of your ear, we'll press down on that flap and cover our eyes. And we'll do 3 Brahmari breaths, bumblebee breaths. So as you inhale, fill up the belly, fill up the heart. And as you exhale, humming into the headspace. We'll do that 3 times, inhaling, exhaling. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Let your hands float down to your heart space, one over the other, breathing in. And then softening, relaxing on your exhale. Holding here for a couple breaths. Just feel the last exercise, the Brahmari breath, the weeds. Allow that to integrate. Allow your body to recalibrate as we integrate that energy. And then when you're ready, slide your hands over your belly. And begin to tap. Bring the hands up to the chest, tapping the collarbones and the chest plate. And you can turn this into pecs or like a typewriter as you use the tips of your fingers. Using the tips of your fingers, take your fingertips to the side and back of your neck. Back up the back of the head to the top of the crown, going in circles around the crown, down the forehead, to the top of the ears, to the cheekbones where they meet the nose, back out towards the ears, down the jaw, to the chin, tapping to the back of the neck once more, coming around to the tops of the shoulders, and then crossing the hands at the chest, beginning to tap down the arms and up the arms, back to the chest, down to the belly, tapping out the thighs to the knees. If you have access to your shins, you can absolutely pat those out, go to the sides of the thighs, the back of the hips, and then go up as much of the back as you can, maybe towards or over your kidneys. And then down again once more to your hips, to the outer hips, and back to the belly. And think of this as tapping into your power. You can still breathe through your belly. And then bring your hands into a fist, let the tapping go. So bringing your hands into fists, pull them into your body, right at your navel, right at your core. And observe your natural breath. This next exercise will be a little bit of breath work and forceful movement through the body. So you can watch me for this first one. We'll breathe in 3 short, sharp breaths through the nose. And then as we exhale, we'll press the fists into our body, into a huh. So you'll push in and let it release on a sound. So following me, joining me, inhaling 3 breaths. Exhale, ha. Inhale. Exhale, ha. Continue, inhale. Exhale, ha. And allow this inhale to pull down any of this oxygen. Breathe in 3 times. 3, 2, 1. And exhale, forcefully releasing any stale oxygen, opening up the throat. Inhale. Exhale, ha. Inhale. Exhale, ha. Inhale. Exhale, ha. Inhale. Exhale, ha. 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 Continue with this breath. Notice if as you're breathing in, your shoulders are hiking up towards your ears. See if you can use the belly to bring the breath in rather than the shoulders. Breathing. Ha. 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 2 more. Last one. Take your hands thumb to thumb, index finger to index finger, but keep your hands exactly where they are. Breathing into the belly, 1 large breath. As you exhale, exhale on the sound of voo. Voo. Inhaling deep through the belly. Exhale, vu. Vu. Inhale, notice any gripping in your hip flexors, soften and release. Vu. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Release your hands palm down, holding onto the knees. One breath here, inhale. Exhale, feel your body get heavier, weightier into its contact with the earth. Take your right hand out, palm up in front of you. And begin to imagine something that you're grateful for. I'm grateful this happened. I'm grateful you did. I'm grateful I did. I'm grateful I have. Whatever this might feel for you, whatever comes up for you, imagine one grateful thing, be as specific as you can. And once more, if nothing is coming to mind, just evoke that sensation, that emotional feeling of I am grateful for. And once you feel something solidify in your mind, feel it solidify in your hand and say in your mind, clearly or out loud, yes. Closing your fist, bring that close to your heart. And once it makes contact with your body, release the fist and say thank you in your mind, clearly or out loud. And then change hands. Bring the next hand, bring your left hand forward, palm up. And think of one instance, think of one memory, think of one quality, one characteristic, whatever it might be that you are grateful for. And once that becomes clear, say yes. In your mind or out loud, close your fist, bring it in towards your heart. Once your fist makes contact with your body, release the fist, hands splays open. Say in your mind or out loud, thank you. Reaching forward with the right, find that moment, that kernel, that nugget of gratitude. Once it lands, once it solidifies, say yes. Bring it in towards the body, over the heart space. Release the fist, say thank you. Left hand forward, palm up, find your piece of gratitude. Feel it solidify, close the hand, say yes. Bring it in towards the heart, open the fist, thank you. Right arm forward, a moment of gratitude. Once you find it, close your fingers around it, yes. Pull it in towards the heart, release it, thank you. Left hand forward. Keep going back and forth. Remember to say yes, intentionally, and thank you once you pull it into the body. Continuing, alternating hands, pulling out moments of gratitude, moments of gratefulness. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Take as much time as you need. There's no rush. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. If you need more time, you can absolutely take it. Otherwise, we will continue this for 3 more breaths. Inhaling as the arm comes forward. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Last time. Otherwise, if you feel you would like to continue, you absolutely can. Once you've completed this last time, take your hands over the heart. Imagine, bring your attention to that space below your navel center. And as you inhale, feel that space rise. Feel the chest rise underneath your hands. Shoulders stay soft. As you exhale, chest slowly descends. Navel pulls back. If your eyes are closed, you can open them here. On our next inhale, bring your hands down, separate them, and then keep the palms up, taking up space. As you exhale, middle fingers will come to touch, but your palms will face down, shoulders soft as you push downwards through the midline. Inhale, flip the palms up, reach up. Use your arms to open the lungs even more. And then above the head, middle fingers touch, palms down. Hands come through midline, exhale. Inhale, flip the palms. Really reaching with the fingertips, let this affect the shoulder blades and the shoulders. Middle fingers touch, palms down. Inhaling, flip the palms, reach wide and up. Exhale, middle fingers touch, hands through midline. Twice more, inhale. Let this inhale create expansiveness in your lungs. Exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. If you found yourself in a chair, make your way down to your mat once more. On our mats, we'll move ourselves to the back of our mat, lengthening our legs out. It is absolutely okay if you feel like you need a bend in your knees with your legs lengthened. Before we fold forward into caterpillar, see that your heels are directly shooting out from your hips, so they won't be into touch. They'll actually be a little bit wider than that, separated, if you will. And then check in with your sit bones and see if you can create that equal balance between the two. Think of yourself as we begin to roll forward as you're tipping the hips first. So the hip points in front begin to roll forward. And then almost like a slinky, your spine will start to articulate. One vertebrae moves on top of the other, rolling forward, rolling forward. You can walk your hands down towards your shins, towards your ankles. And once you come to a comfortable stopping point for you, so not taking the stretch too far that your body's starting to pull back and guard, but just enough that this feels like a nourishing stretch. So you might want to take your hands palm down and then lengthen through the elbows, not locking them out, but lengthening just enough that your torso is being supported here, that your shoulders and your upper body is able to be effortlessly suspended. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can tip the head forward, chin forward, gazing inward. And we'll be here for a couple breaths. So we started today's class breathing through the front line of the body. And I'd like you to imagine now that you're breathing through the back line of the body. So as you inhale, the lower hips and the back of the kidneys expand up into the space behind the heart and shoulder blades. And as you exhale, feel that space descend closer to the earth. And this might not be a physical movement of your torso moving towards the earth, but it's the sensation of that. Breathing in and breathing out. Keeping the breath even. Maybe on each exhale, you feel a little bit more surrender. Surrender of tension. Surrender of holding. Allowing for more ease to enter this pose. Three more breaths. Last breath. Firming your hands into the ground, begin to walk your hands backwards and let this be the force that rolls your spine up to sit. Head comes up last. Bending your knees, take the soles of your feet to the mat and move your hips forward. I'll meet you on your back. Rolling down onto the back. And we're going to go through a little bit of a breath exercise here. So actually I'll flip around just in case you want to see this first side. So taking the knees into the chest and hug them here for a moment. Maybe it feels good in your body to rock side to side. Maybe it feels good in your body to take your hips in little micro circles, massaging the sacral plate, the back of the hips, maybe the tops of your glutes. And if you're taking your knees in circles, you can take them in the other direction. But let this be a mindful circle. So instead of your hands doing the work, see if maybe a little bit of your weight can get involved, just gravity. Your hands being suggestions for movement, and your knees and the weight of your legs taking their course. Coming back to center, roll completely onto your right side. And then your hands will come forward right in front of the heart center. The left hand, the back of the hand is on the ground. And then the right hand is palm down on that hand. So you're completely on your left shoulder and your left hip. Your knees are straight out from your navel, straight out from the hip socket. And on your next inhale, you're going to take your right hand, make contact with the ground above the left hand. So make contact with the ground. As you inhale, keep that contact, and you're going to do a rainbow arc above the head. So inhaling, the hand stays in contact, and you'll create this rainbow arc. Maybe the back of the hand flips to the ground until you are in a T shape with the arms. And your head might naturally loll to the right, gazing over the back right shoulder. As you exhale, keep that contact with the ground and take that rainbow arc back to the starting point. So tracing that circle, that semicircle into the ground. Inhale, trace that half circle above the head, keep contact with the earth. And then when you're ready, exhale, closing the circle off, coming back to center, coming back to your starting point. Twice more, inhale. And then once you reach your T, exhale. On this next one, as you inhale, trace that circle and pause here once your arms are in a T. Maybe once you pause, you can float, soften your right shoulder down to the earth or towards the earth, gazing over the right shoulder. And pause and breathe. Maybe as you breathe, you can bring your attention and intention to expanding both now the front and back body. Feeling the entire expansiveness of your torso and allowing this to deepen your twist. Closing down the eyes is an option. If it's more comfortable for you, taking the left hand on top of the right knee is also an option. Just notice if that's the option your body wants to take, if that feels like more effort, or if that feels like it's making this pose easier for you. Two more breaths. Last breath. Coming out just as we came in, or rather coming in just as we came out. Keep contact with the ground. If your left hand is on your leg, place it back onto the ground. And on your next exhale, the hand will stay in contact with the ground as you come back to your starting point. Rolling onto the back, bring your knees up over the hips one by one. And you can take the knees into your chest. You can rock side to side, or you can come into circles, whatever your body wants in this moment. Maybe it wants to stay still. And maybe it wants gentle movement. If you're taking your knees in one direction, begin to take them in the other. And then let's take this to the other side. So roll completely onto your right side. Shoot the arms out in front of the chest at heart height. And when you're ready, on your next inhale, left hand this time stays in contact with the ground the entire time as you open out to the left. Once you find that T shape with the arms, begin your exhale, closing off the arms, coming back to your starting point. And we'll take this 5 more times. Really allow this movement to open up the chest, the side of the body, the ribs, wherever you're feeling this move. Allowing the breath to take the entire time as you move from one position to the other. Two more times. And on this last time, keep the arm out in a T. Hold and breathe. If it's not already, bring your chin over the left shoulder. Relax the left shoulder down towards the earth. And again, option here to take the right hand over the left knee if that's comfortable for you. Letting each inhale fill up the entire body. And each exhale, surrender you deeper into your twist. Make the body heavier into the earth. Three more breaths. Last breath. Coming out as we came in, take the left hand in contact with the ground the whole time as you arc the body, the arm, the fingertips up overhead, coming back to your starting point. And then rolling onto your back, bringing your knees one by one over your hips, hands over knees, pulling them in, hugging them in, taking a happy baby. Grabbing onto the outsides of your feet, pulling the knees in towards your armpits, and the feet as if they could step on the ceiling, soles of the feet up. And you have the option to rock side to side if you want. You have the option to lengthen one leg And then the other, listening to your body. Maybe again, you want stillness here. Just allow your body to receive whatever option it is wanting. Take the soles of the feet together, pull them in towards your navel. Take the knees together, hands to knees, pull those into the chest. Exhale everything from the lungs. And then inhale into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Feet come down to the mat, heels mat distance, toes out long. Falling out to the sides, maybe you fold your shoulder underneath you one at a time. Hands up and away from the body. And if you'd like to pull that blanket, that optional blanket beside you over your body, either over your hips for extra grounding or over your body for extra warmth, feel free to do so here. Closing down the eyes. Take a deep, full body breath in and let this breath be the largest, most satisfying breath you've experienced all today. And as you exhale on a sigh or a sound, let it go, releasing any remaining tension, anything remaining that is ready to be let go of. And we'll be here in our final resting pose in silence for a few minutes. So once we're complete, I'll guide us out. And take your time. Take a deep breath in, and as you do, bring your arms up overhead into a full morning stretch, fingertips reaching away from toe tips. As you exhale, bend your knees, soles of the feet to the earth as you roll onto your right side, arm cushioning your head. And take a moment, eyes closed, and wait firmly in the earth, ground supporting you wholly. Keeping your eyes closed, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. One hand on your heart, placing the other hand on top. Take a deep breath into your hands. And exhale, soften. Saying completely and clearly in your mind or out loud, I see my grief. I see my grief. I witness my healing. I witness my healing. I see my love. I see my love. Feeling into your intention, your dedication for today's class. And as you feel your body breathing underneath your hands, begin to bring in that sense of gratitude, giving thanks for your dedication, for your commitment, for your practice, for your love. Taking a deep breath in, feel your heart fill your hands. And as you exhale, feel your hands meet your heart, strength and support. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. As always, this is provided by Bob and Hospice Slow. So if you have any questions, if you need any support, Hospice Slow is here for you. And if you need any recommendations, requests, if you have any input from our classes or anything you'd like to see or do again, please don't hesitate to reach out.